This is not 2008, and we have so much less inventory than we have ever had. Active inventory is actually down 45.8% compared to April of 2019. I've been hearing about more competitive offer situations, offers significantly above asking, high due diligence. We are heading right back into where we were at the beginning of last year. In my opinion, this could be an excellent way to add some more affordable and first-time homebuyer homes to our area. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kara, and today's video is going to be my May housing market update. As always, I'm going to be separating this video into a few different sections, those being price, inventory, mortgages, local news, and other news. Before I get started, if you are not already subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button down below for more content about real estate and also the Asheville area. Let's hop right into price on a national level. I read an interesting statistic recently about investors, and that is that in March, 1 out of every 5 flips, or in other words, 20% of every flip, sold at a loss. That's a pretty significant amount, and it's largely due to higher mortgage rates causing lower demand. Fannie Mae recently updated their forecast and is now predicting that home price appreciation will decline by 1.2% year over year by quarter 4 and 2.6% by quarter 4 of 2024. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Predictions are not really something that we should give too much weight to, especially when they're in this 1 or 2% range, because they very easily could change to 1 or 2% in the positive direction. Something I often do with predictions is just look at the general trend. So are most economists saying that prices are going to go up or go down? That's really what I focus on a lot more than the actual number. When we're looking at this 1 or 2% range, a lot of times I would just say that prices will stay relatively neutral. You may have seen some headlines over the past couple months about home prices declining, but it's really important to acknowledge what price range that's actually happening in. Zillow recently released a report stating that home values in the bottom and middle tier are remaining elevated. In this tier, you naturally have your more affordable and first-time homebuyer homes. At the same time, home values in the upper tier are beginning to fall. So in other words, the majority of homes being purchased have stable prices. On a national level, home values started to creep up just a little bit by around 0.2–0.5% in January and February. This is likely due to the slight decrease in mortgage rates. Interestingly, right around 70% of the country is seeing positive growth in home prices, whereas 30% is in the negative. Let's move on now to price on a local level. The average sale price for homes around the Asheville region is up 4.7% from a year ago. Prices are not as high as they were last summer, but they are on the rise. Median sale prices are up as well by 2.2% on a year-over-year basis. It's likely that this trend is going to continue as we enter into the summer. For those of you who aren't too familiar with real estate seasonality, spring and summer are the busiest times for real estate, and fall and winter tend to be the slowest. So it's not too uncommon that we'll see prices start to pick up this time of year. Let's move on to inventory on a national level. On my channel, I often focus quite heavily about what's going on in the real estate market for anyone who might be a buyer or seller, but I don't often focus on renters as that's just not an area that I work in. However, the rental market does have an impact on the real estate market. Right now, apartment construction is at a 40-year high. This will hopefully aid in soothing rental prices over the coming years. Nationally, new listings were down 28% in April, which is even worse than March, where they were down 22.2% from a year ago. This is largely due to the lock-in effect. In other words, a lot of homeowners really don't want to give up their good rate. A lot of people over the past couple years either bought a home or refinanced their mortgage to end up with an interest rate around 3%, 4%, if they got really lucky, even in the 2s. It's highly, highly unlikely that we are going to see interest rates that low again, And there's not a lot of incentive for people to even put their homes on the market, because if they do, there's not a lot of inventory out there for them to choose from, and they're going to be stuck with a higher monthly payment than their current monthly payment. That being said, there will always be people moving for job opportunities, to be closer to family, and some other reasons like that. Interestingly, active inventory, in other words, homes actively listed for sale, are up 2.9% year over year. While this is a bit of a step in the right direction, active inventory is actually down 45.8% compared to April of 2019. This really puts into perspective how much inventory is down compared to pre-pandemic years. Let's move on to inventory on a local level. The number of new listings in the Asheville region is down 21% from a year ago. As I was just saying, this unfortunately isn't likely to change anytime soon. Unsurprisingly, sales are also down 22% on a year-over-year basis. This makes sense because when inventory is down, naturally there are fewer homes to sell and fewer homes are therefore being sold. One of the biggest hurdles for home buyers right now is definitely the low inventory. While demand may not be as high as it was during the first half of last year, it is definitely starting to creep up again now that we are in the heart of the spring buying season. Mortgage rates and affordability are another big hurdle that home buyers are facing right now. So let's hop right into the mortgage section. Here are a few different mortgage predictions for the coming years. The MBA, or Mortgage Bankers Association, believes that we'll see interest rates in the 4s sometime next year. But Fannie Mae thinks that they'll stay in the 5s throughout next year. Either way, whether we're going to see 5% or 4% interest rates, they likely are going to be lower than they are today. I think this is a bit of positive news out there for home buyers. However, I mentioned this in my April housing market update video. If you haven't seen that one, definitely go and check that one out. I'll leave it linked here so you can watch it after you're finished with this video. But in that video, I talked about what's going to happen to the market when interest rates do start to go down. I'll recap it here for you very quickly, but basically, if we start to see interest rates go down in the 5s or even in the 4s, right now we have a lot of home buyers sitting on the sidelines just waiting on the market to cool off just a little bit. And when it does, we're going to see a lot of buyers flood back into the market, and honestly, we're already starting to see this. I've been hearing about more competitive offer situations, offers significantly above asking, high due diligence. We are heading right back into where we were at the beginning of last year. I hate to break it to you, but home prices are not going to come down. This is not 2008, and we have so much less inventory than we have ever had. I could go on a whole rant about how this isn't 2008 and all of the factors that are playing into this market that are separate from what happened back then. But that's honestly a topic for a whole other video. But ultimately, long story short, if you are sitting on the sidelines and thinking about buying, it doesn't hurt to start looking now, because home prices are likely going to continue rising through the spring and through the summer. And if you manage to find a home that you fall in love with and mortgage rates actually do drop pretty low next year, you can always refinance that mortgage and lock in that lower rate. I'll end my little rant there, but of course, if you have any questions on that topic or want to chat with me more about it, always feel free to reach out to me. I always leave my contact info in the description box and also at the end of the video. Let's move on to some local news. Our local Asheville airport is actually going to be expanding from 7 gates to 12. I know that our airport isn't the biggest, but it definitely does the job, and I feel like more and more direct flights are being added every year. Construction on this is expected to begin in August and likely be done sometime in 2026. Recently, Asheville was recognized for having some of the cleanest air in the US by the American Lung Association. This doesn't come as too big of a surprise to me, as I know whenever I would travel here when I lived in other states, I always noticed as soon as I got to the mountains how fresh and clean the air smelled. We do have quite a bit of natural beauty around us and tons of forests to purify the air, so it's only right that Asheville would have this title. Recently, the city of Asheville hired consultants to perform a missing middle housing study. Now, what exactly does this mean? Well, I did a bit of research on it, and missing middle ultimately refers to duplexes, triplexes, townhomes, and other homes like that. Basically, here in Asheville and a lot of places across the country, we have apartment complexes, and then you have your larger single-family homes, and there's really not anything in between, or at least not very much of it. So the city chose to hire consultants to identify zoning barriers, feasibility, and community impact of adding some of this missing middle housing to the Asheville area. In my opinion, this could be an excellent way to add some more affordable and first-time homebuyer homes to our area. If you're interested on this study, I'll leave a link down below so you can learn more about it. Buncombe County has also recently stated that by 2030, they want 20% of their land preserved. Right now, 18.5% of the county is used for conservation, which I think is a great amount, but it's even better that they want to increase this to 20%. I don't actually have anything for the other section of this video, so this next statistic will be the last one for today. In 2021, a food scraps drop-off program was initiated in our area and actually ended up being a great hit. This program allows people to bring their food scraps for composting, and the program is going so well that they're adding 2 more drop-off locations. So far, 160 tons of food scraps have been diverted from the landfill, and 2,300 households are registered for this program. I'll also leave a link in the description box for this program if you're interested in joining or just learning more about it. Well, that is everything for today's video, guys. I know that it was a bit of a long one, so if you did stick around till the end, leave me a comment down below and let me know. I really hope that you enjoyed this one, and of course subscribe as well if you'd like to see more videos by me. Share this video with your family and friends and do all that good stuff. If you don't have a copy of my free home buyer guide, of course reach out to me and let me know. I'd be more than happy to share that with you as well. And if you're ever in the area, whether you're local and you've been here for many years, or you're just visiting the area, I'm always happy to meet for coffee or tea and just have a little bit of a chat. So I will leave my contact info in the description box below, as well as at the end of this video. Reach out to me anytime. I always love to hear from my subscribers. Well, that's everything for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.